Hello everyone, my beautiful people, my beautiful souls, welcome back to your channel, Philosopher 777. Today, we are going to discuss the undeniable truth about María Corina Machado, and this undeniable truth is related to the topic of disqualification. But before diving into the matter, I want to talk about something happening on social media. There is a TikToker who claims to have two political truths that Venezuelans should know. These two truths are meant to make him go viral, but they haven't been verified. In investigative journalism, one must be very careful because emotions of the interested parties are often played with. And that's apparently what many influencers do. They like to spread fake news that touches on people's emotions and sensitivity to go viral. This TikToker claims to have two truths, one being that there will be mega elections for governors, mayors, councilors, and deputies in 2024. In other words, Maduro will change all elected governors, all mayors, all councilors, absolutely everyone. This has not been verified by the National Electoral Council, CNE. Let me reiterate for those who don't know, the CNE officials were removed from the game as part of Maduro's strategy, and there haven't been any appointments of those officials. And now, someone comes up with the idea of holding a mega election that we don't even have. Again, let me repeat, we don't have CNE officials. So, we're starting off on the wrong foot there. The second truth is about a desire that many Venezuelans have, and let me clarify today that it's a lie. What is it? They are saying that María Corina Machado has allied with Lorenzo Mendoza, and in this alliance between Lorenzo Mendoza and María Corina Machado, if María Corina wins the primaries, as we know she will, but her disqualification is not removed, Lorenzo Mendoza would run as María Corina Machado's candidate, and obviously, María Corina would support him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is false. Even though we all want to believe it, it's fake news that has not been corroborated. Furthermore, a few days ago, someone from the regime, a regime-affiliated page, designed a news article claiming that Lorenzo Mendoza was creating a party called PAN, which had the same emblem as PAN flower, the same symbol, and it supposedly meant something like a nationalist party or something along those lines. This news began to circulate, saying that Lorenzo Mendoza was already planning to run as a presidential candidate. However, the Polar Company issued a statement saying that Lorenzo Mendoza currently has no political plans or intentions. They made it clear that, at the moment, Lorenzo Mendoza does not have any political aspirations. They clarified that Lorenzo Mendoza already stated in the past that there are no favorable conditions in Venezuela for him to enter politics. There is persecution in Venezuela, and elections are not conducted fairly. He said he won't be the number one fool, and he won't jeopardize the work of thousands of Venezuelans who directly and indirectly benefit from Polar's companies. He knows that challenging the regime means they will try to take away the Polar Company, something they have been trying to do since the days of Chavez but have failed. First, because of the support from the employees, and second, because he has preferred to play the diplomacy game with what's on the table. However, he hasn't challenged the regime, he hasn't presented himself as an enemy of the regime, nor as a friend. He hasn't sought trouble because the livelihoods of thousands of households depend on him. I've mentioned this in several writings and reports. He previously stated that he wouldn't deny the possibility of participating as a president in the future, but not now because thousands of families depend on him. This lie about María Corina aligning with Lorenzo Mendoza and Lorenzo Mendoza running for president is a fake news created by the regime, a false narrative created by the regime to meddle with Polar's companies, which are one of the main pillars sustaining the country. Let me repeat, thousands of families receive direct income, and thousands of families receive indirect income from Polar's companies. Polar is one of the largest sources of employment in Venezuela. Now, let's clarify the situation. María Corina Machado, the coordinator of Vent Venezuela, stated that she was not surprised by the regime's attempt to disqualify her politically, executed by the Maduro regime and specifically by the regime's lapdog controller. She assured that this measure is false, and to this day, they haven't even told her the reason behind it. If you look at the reasons, you can read the complete document on my website, Philosopher777.com. If you look at the complete document, if you look at the causes they supposedly used in 2015 to disqualify her for 15 years, it was already known by the controller that there would be an interim government, that Guaido would be president, that Guaido would steal money, that there would be a Cucuta incident, that Richard Branson and others organized a concert at the border, that Superlano's dollars would be stolen in Cucuta with the Burundanga. All of that was already known. They knew about Crystalex and that Crystalex would sue and win the case, and that in the trial, they would have to sell part of Citgo to compensate Crystalex for what Chavez expropriated. They claimed that Maria Corina agreed to all this. They also knew that Trump would win in the United States, and they knew about the sanctions Trump would impose. They supposedly knew in 2015 what happened in 2019, 2020, and 2021. That's why she says this is a farce, an illogical thing. Opposition primary candidates rejected Maria Corina Machado's disqualification and labeled it as undemocratic, arbitrary, and despotic. They also pointed out that the disqualification is unconstitutional since an administrative act cannot disqualify anyone. In addition, it was mentioned that even prisoners in Venezuela have the right to vote, and if you didn't know, now you do. Prisoners have the right to vote. Furthermore, everything they are proposing there is truly obscene. Maria Corina stated that many people have mocked this action, which, in her opinion, is purely political. The regime isn't even being careful about appearances. This is an order from Miraflores to a third-level official, to the controller, because if he doesn't do it, he will be fired or imprisoned. Machado emphasized this in an interview with Infobay. She also expressed that the Maduro regime has been making major mistakes out of desperation to remove her from the political game ahead of the 2024 presidential elections. She said the following: "This disqualification is worthless, a huge mistake, and the last few hours have confirmed it. The reaction has been monumental. I'm very grateful to the people who see this false disqualification as a challenge to tyranny." Maria Corina concluded by saying, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is an unparalleled truth. Hernando Alvarez says, you will be the president for all Venezuelans, keep going until the end. She knows what she wants, we are sure of that. Now, why do they lie to us?" And I'm not referring to Maria Corina, but there are people who love to lie, like the case of what they are doing with Lorenzo Mendoza, involving Maria Corina. Since Maria Corina can't run, they say that she will send Lorenzo Mendoza to run on her behalf. Please, don't make up nonsense, and I advise you not to believe in stupid things. What's even worse is when people believe those kinds of news. They are playing with the emotions of Venezuelans. What may make you famous today may make people despise you tomorrow. I see YouTube channels, TikTok accounts that grow rapidly, but if you check them after a year, they have no views. You look at their analytics, and they have 2,000 or 3,000 views per month, while having 10 million followers. That's not even 1%. It means that people disapprove of lies because lies don't benefit anyone. We must stop being gullible. If someone comes shouting and claims that they are sure of something, ask them for evidence. How can they assure you that there will be mega elections for mayors and councilors? Have you spoken to Freddy Bernal? What is your source? Which governor, among those currently repeating their terms from the regime, has said that Maduro will easily replace them? Oh, to move up the elections. Who has said that? Another question, aren't the officials of the National Electoral Council in Venezuela the ones who oversee that? And where are the officials? They haven't appointed any CNE officials yet. Which country do you live in? Who told you that Lorenzo Mendoza is running for president now? Did you read the recent statement from Polar Companies 2 days ago, saying that they are not involved in politics? So, don't start making things up, and don't play with people's emotions. Well, let's learn from this. Don't repeat lies. Maria Corina is not associated with Lorenzo Mendoza. I repeat, she is not associated with Lorenzo Mendoza. Don't fall for stories. I bid you farewell, a tight embrace, and blessings to everyone. And don't forget to visit Self-Made-A-Millionaires online if you want to make money from home by learning on your own. I'll be waiting for you inside. Blessings. Subscribe to the channel.